Hello everyone, FPL Willem here. In this early thoughts video I will talk about injuries, teams to target and my own team. My own team will be limitlessing and I will show it, and it will probably be looking different when it's the deadline on the Tuesday. So if you want to keep up with that, follow me on my Twitter, FPL Willem. Like and subscribe for more content like this. If you guys are interested in my Wildcard Unlimitless draft later this week, I would recommend subscribing. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's move on to the team news. First off, Dortmund. Now, just before we kick off with the Dortmund news, this video is recorded on the Wednesday evening, just before the Premier League kickoff, so it's 8 PM around here. The Premier League kickoff is around 8:45. All of this news can change over time, probably before the deadline. We have way more news, so just keep an eye just before the deadline on your injuries. Maybe there's a new injury, maybe Adeyemi will play, as you can see on your screen here. But this is the team news from now. Dortmund camp with some injuries, and to start off with Julian Brandt. Brandt has a hamstring injury and is expected to be back late December. Now, late December sounds late, as it says late December, but round 7, it's now round 6, and he will probably be back for round 7, as round 7 is at the 21st of January, so that's late January, so it's a full month later. So expect Julian Brandt to be back for round 7. Everyone I will call out for early December or late December or even early January is expected to be back for round 7, or at least fit for round 7. Brandt's injury will mean, Dortmund will have a bit of a lesser attacking threat there, but I don't think it's a good time to focus on Dortmund players just because they will play against Barcelona in round 6. Anton is injured with a groin injury, also expected to be back late December. This could mean that other defenders like Can, Slotterbeck and Sule will have an increasing chance to play, but I don't really recommend playing a defender against Barcelona, especially because it's on the Wednesday and you can't sub them out anymore. But if you have him in your team and you can't get rid of them, maybe it's a bit of a blessing that Anton is injured for this match day. Adeyemi was also in my last video, exactly the same points, midfielder 7.2 million, hamstring injury, and expected a few days. And that is basically a copy paste, and it's basically because it's a hamstring injury and they always take him a bit more serious. So he probably is back in training, but it's just a matter of time when he will play. And the important thing about Adeyemi is, and I said it in my last video, in my early thoughts around 5, Gittens could get a decrease in minutes if he starts to play, and I expect Adeyemi to play in matchday 7. So just have a good thought about putting in Gittens if you're thinking about it. That was basically the Dortmund news. Let's move on to the Liverpool news. Now, for Liverpool there are some defensive issues, so not really exciting issues in the midfield or attack. Gladly not Salah or Gakpo, or just call them out. But Bradley is injured with a hamstring injury, and he isn't a starter in general when Trent is fit, but I found it important to just call it out, because if Liverpool win the next upcoming game in matchday 6 against Girona, they won basically every single game in the Champions League. This could mean that they will put in second squad players, for example dropping Virgil van Dijk or Trent for Gomez or Kwanzaa in matchday 7, as they are probably through in the top 8 in this new Champions League format. Bradley will be back in mid-January, so if he makes matchday 7, I don't know that. It will be tight probably, but at least we can expect Trent to be back. So if you're going to Limitless, I think Trent is an amazing player to put in your team. Alisson is also still injured, and I don't even know if he gets his place back. Kelleher is really doing the business right now. He is expected to be back in a few days, and I said I don't know if he gets his place back. Arne Slot, I think he had yesterday a press conference, and he said Alisson will be the main goalkeeper. If that's in the Champions League or the Premier League, I don't know that. But he is expected to be back in a few days. Liverpool play on the early kickoff on Tuesday, so you can see the lineup just before the game starts. So that's good to know if you want to put in Alisson or Kelleher. Last one is Tsimikas. He is fighting for a place with Robertson. He is winning it a bit, but for now he's injured. He's returning mid-December with an ankle injury. These guys are not the most exciting players, but there's always the other side that Trent will play, or Robertson will play, or Kelleher will play. So that's important to know that these guys are injured for now. But this was Liverpool. Moving on to Barcelona. Now, for Barcelona it's basically the same as Liverpool. I've only put in defensive players, not a goalkeeper this time, so it's basically only defensive players. Nobody owns Araujo and Christensen, but I've just put these guys in because it could mean that the current defenders like Kubarsi have some competition if they return. I've put in Araujo in my last video. He is back in training, as you can see here, and I said it with Adeyemi. Hamstring injuries are just a bit more serious and you don't want to rush your players in back again. But yeah, Kubasi's minutes could be threatened by Araujo and maybe Christensen in matchday 7. Balde is out until late December with a head injury this weekend or last weekend. He won't feature in the upcoming match against Dortmund, but expect him to be fit in the game in matchday 7. Yeah, these were basically my Barcelona team news. There isn't really that much, but just wanted to point out some defenders and maybe some threatening if you have Kubasi in your team, as a lot of you guys do, and that these guys could make a threat for him. There's Barcelona. Let's go on to Bayern München. Now Bayern basically have 3 great last fixtures, and I think everybody wanted Kane in, but sadly Kane had to get injured. He got injured before the Leverkusen game. It's once again a hamstring injury, and I'm realizing now everybody's having a hamstring injury. Even I feel my hamstring stretching right now. But yeah, I think everyone wanted him in, and everyone who put him in from last match day because he has some great fixtures after it. Yeah, that's sad. And at least it's late December, so he will make match day 7. I mean, it will be more funny to see everyone's wildcard team, as you will get some more money if you leave Kane out or if you get Vinicius in. There goes your money. But yeah, I'm curious about the wildcard team. I will be posting one later, I think on the Friday or Saturday. But yeah, expect he won't be expected to play in in matchday 6, and it will be good to see Musiala play, as he played against Leverkusen in the striker position. Now Bayern München got a red card from Manuel Neuer in the 17th minute, so Musiala didn't really shine in that game. But if Musiala plays once again in the striker position, I think he's a must-have in your at least limitless or wildcard team. And if you don't have him in your just general team, I recommend putting him in. Gnabry might also be fit for the upcoming fixture, so if he is fit, he's a great option. I wouldn't really count on it. I think Bayern has a lot of great options on his side, as well as Coleman plays there as well. So yeah, it might be a bit annoying that Kane is injured, but it opens some doors here and there as well. Now for Real Madrid, there isn't really a lot of news. I don't expect you guys to have Camavinga or Tchouaméni in your team, but it is important to know that they are injured. It weakens their defending midfield positions, as they are defending midfielders, and could leave them a bit more open. So if you're thinking about buying a Real Madrid defensive player like Rudiger, just wanted to let you guys know that the guys in front of him are injured. Everyone here is expected to be back in matchday 7. Even Vinicius, yeah, he is injured until mid-December, but as I said, 21st of January, matchday 7. So after that, he has some great fixtures with Salzburg and Brest in matchday 7 and 8. I think Vinicius will be a great addition in your squad, but for matchday 6, just don't put Vinicius Jr. in your team. Now I've just threw some random players in there because for every team there aren't a lot of injuries, as for Atletico Madrid there are some injuries, same for Juventus and Leverkusen, but there are only one big injury, as it's for Atletico Madrid, Molina, Vlahovic for Juventus and Boniface for Leverkusen. There's also the whole Red Bull Leipzig squad, and I don't expect you guys to have any Red Bull Leipzig assets, but Villa are playing against Leipzig, so there is a chance that you could put in a like of Ollie Watkins. But to start off with Molina on the left, would be a great pick if he played against Slovan Bratislava this week, but he is out with another hamstring injury. Once again, another hamstring injury. He's expected to be back matchday 7. Same for Vlahovic, but they're not on a hamstring injury, with thigh injuries. Quite close, I think. It's on the other side of the hamstring. Vlahovic, as I said, he won't be playing against Manchester City. Would have been a great time to play him against Manchester City, as what form City is in. But I still think City can turn it around at any time, so maybe not the worst. Boniface is also injured for quite some time. His replacement is Schick. Schick went off last match against Bayern München. He came on the second half, and he came out from the second half, or get substituted out. So I've put Schick in here, but I've wrote this just before I was recording this, and I realized that Schick was injured. So don't put Schick in your team, but Boniface is injured there as well. I have no clue who is going to be the striker for Leverkusen, but just I wouldn't recommend touching them. last one is the full Leipzig squad. Lukeba is injured, Klosterman is injured, Raum is injured, Paulsen, I don't really think Paulsen plays, but I just wanted to exaggerate the injuries, and Elmas is injuries. Lukeba, Klosterman and Raum is basically 3 starting defenders from Leipzig. Aston Villa play this week against them, so it's not a bad idea to put in players like Watkins or Rodgers. So yeah, that's basically all the injury news. Let's move on. Now for the targets, it's always important to quickly look ahead of the fixtures we want to focus on. And yeah, here's basically my sheet. It's quite a lot of teams in here, so I had to remove my face cam. My enormous head is now out of this sheet, because else it would yeah, block a lot of fixtures in here. It's important to go for players like Milan, or players from teams like Milan, Arsenal, Bayern München and Liverpool. I would advise to go for them. Basically because, yeah, if you look at AC Milan, Red Star Belgrado, not Belgrade, so I have no idea why. Maybe it's the English version if I think about it. AC Milan against Red Star, Girona and Zagreb, same goes for Arsenal. Just all green fixtures. So yeah, who to go for per team, like which player, I will talk about in a later video in my wildcard or limitless teams. If you're looking for some cheaper players with great games, I think you could focus on teams like PSV, Stuttgart, Sporting and Celtic, if you don't have the funds to go for the more premium teams. Now Barcelona, Real Madrid and Dortmund don't really have the easiest first fixture, but I still put them in there because the games after that are just great. I would recommend just putting your team on another screen and look at the teams you don't have in your own team. Putting in like players like Pulisic from AC Milan and Saka from Arsenal if you don't have them. Yeah, those are great assets for this week and the weeks beyond. Now I'm going to Limitless this week, and this week is also a popular week to Limitless or wildcard even. Reasoning behind it is basically because a lot of teams have a difficult fixture, and if you've planned it out, you already knew that matchday 6 will be a bit more difficult. For me, it's I have easier fixes in 7 and 8 with the current team I have from matchday 5. So if I just Limitless this week, I have my team back for matchday 7 and 8, and yeah, I have great fixtures then. I've made a Limitless draft not with a lot of thought in it, basically because it's only Wednesday and I often put in more thought in the weekend. But yeah, this is my draft so far. I've gone with Neuer and Oblak in goal, both on separate days of course. Neuer plays against Shakhtar away and Oblak plays against Slovan Bratislava at home. So if Neuer doesn't work out, Oblak at home against the worst team, yeah, I expect at least a clean sheet. I don't expect any saves, so if they get a goal against them, it's not worth to keep them in, because they probably only will get 1 or 2 saves. My backline consists of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Hernandez, Kim, Gabriel and Langlais. I've put in Langlais because he's getting some decent ball recoveries and not so many yellow cards as Jimenez is getting. In the midfield, I've gone with Musiala, Tielemans, Saka, Salah and Pulisic. Tielemans could be switched up with a player like Rafinha. Bellingham could also be a great option, but this is just what I've gone for now. And in the forwards, I've gone with Gyökeres, Alvarez and Lewandowski. When Kane got injured, it opened some doors for other players. But it would have just been easier to pick Kane instead of Lewandowski against Borussia Dortmund. But yeah, it happens. Life comes fast at you. As I said, this isn't my final team, but I just wanted to give you guys a small sneak peek into my first draft. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this early thoughts video. I know it isn't as interesting as the Limitless or Wildcard draft, but I just like talking about the Champions League format, and I like talking about the Champions League Fantasy League. These videos aren't as popular as the others, but I hope you guys still enjoy this one. I will make a Limitless draft in the next video, and you guys see after that video a Wildcard draft, and after that videos you guys will always see my team selection. As I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you guys in my Limitless draft, and have a good one. Bye bye.